When did you get involved in environmental issues, and how did that get to you where you are today?
I guess I started when I was really young. I think when I was like 8 or 9, I just read, and I had a very, very, like, this is like an 8 or 9-year-old perspective, so like it may seem very simple to a lot of adults, but like back then when I was a kid, these were some like pretty enormous revelations to me. I was like, whoa. But what happened is when I was a kid, I like read CNN and like I read the news. Okay, that's really weird now that I say that, but I read them, and I very quickly developed an idea, the sense that, since humanity is, part of the biosphere, then we need to take care of that biosphere because we are intricately connected, whether we want to or whether we want to be or not, to it. Therefore, if we hurt the biosphere, most likely it's going to hurt us in the long run and in the short run. So I felt like even from a young age, we have a vested interest in protecting the earth, and protecting nature. I just didn't know at the time what it meant. This manifested later on when I started an international nonprofit, like when I was 13, although it wasn't originally an international nonprofit. I started this international nonprofit, and what we did basically was we planted a biofuel shrub called Jatropha curcus in rural South India, and what we did there is try to use that as a source of sustainable biofuel in the area to not only, be a source of sustainable biofuel, but also to help lift rural farmers out of poverty. And well, that had mixed results. What we are now currently doing is focusing on environmental education and massive tree planting in Haiti, in India, and in the Oakland-Hayward area here. And that has led me to a lot of places, including right here, right now, actually. So that's my story in a very condensed nutshell.
You also joined a suit against the state of California. So how did you get involved in suing the largest, most powerful state in the country?
Well, largest and most powerful, I like that, Go California. I mean, I still love my state, let it be said. I think we're the best state. But, well, California, for those of you who don't know, water is what is considered to be a public trust. The basic principle, there's a lot of legal terms associated with that, but the basic principle is that companies can't dump toxic waste in the water, because since the water is used by everybody on some level, it would harm everybody. Therefore, everyone actually owns this. In a sense, everyone owns the water and no one owns the water, but that means either way you can't dump stuff into it. What we were trying to do was lobby for the atmosphere to be classified as a public trust as well, which means that you can't pollute the atmosphere. Well, there are very strict limits on what you can and cannot dump into the atmosphere. And one of the things this would regulate would be carbon dioxide emissions, along with other greenhouse gas emissions, such as methane, for example. And what we were trying to do basically is the legal implications of this, though, are pretty big, because that means California would probably have to crack down on a lot of, there are a lot of companies dumping large amounts of greenhouse gases and other, toxic gases like sulfur dioxide, for example, which has other negative ramifications on the atmosphere.